Well, there it is. So long story short, what happened while I was on my trip to Korea, everything went to hell in a handbasket back home. The day I left, my dog was seriously injured in a dog attack, had to be rushed to the emergency vet where he spent, 5 days in critical care there. And then on top of that, the day he was dropped off, after leaving, my truck was involved in a freak accident, which in return totaled it. Everybody remembers I had a white 2011 F-250 6.7 diesel. So all that happened the day I left. I was 8,000 miles away in Korea, and everything was a disaster back home. So I was absolutely nothing I could do while being out of town, out of the country, should I say. But luckily, friends and family took care of everything back home, and luckily, in the accident, nobody was hurt at all. I mean, there wasn't the first scratch at all, even though my front axle of my truck was shoved all the way under the driver's side door. It was bad. I saw some pictures of it, but not to harp on that. Nobody was hurt. That's the main thing. I'm not worried about the rest, but what it ended up doing was having a disaster for me to come back to. I had no vehicle at all. I spent the following 2 weeks after I got home searching for a vehicle pretty much to replace what I had, which was a 2011, had about 140,000 miles on it. I looked and looked, I'd work all day long, come home, search all night long on top of dealing with a sick dog, and I would go and just keep looking at used vehicles, and I never could. Everything I looked at looked like I was going to be buying somebody else's problem. It looked like it had, leaks on it. It had horrible body work done to it, and you could just see that they had a wore-out piece of junk that they wanted to get rid of, and they wanted somebody else to pay a premium for it. So after 2 weeks, I got just disgusted looking at used vehicles, and I ended up at the dealership, and I walked out with a brand new one. So this is my new 2019 F-250 Lariat. As you can tell, I've already got the windows tinted and put a new toolbox in it. It comes with the 20-inch rims, 6.7, which is a phenomenal motor. Tomorrow I'm actually dropping the truck off. I should laugh, but everybody thinks I'm crazy, but it's not the way I want it. I want it leveled, and I want my mud tires put back on it like I had on my other truck. So I've got a little over 500 miles on this truck. Brand new Michelin's are coming off. New 37-inch mud tires are going on. So here it is. I did 20 on the front, and I had 5% put over the back windows, the back glass, and the side, and I had a strip put across the windshield. I went ahead and got a brand new toolbox for this truck because the other one kind of got damaged in the wrecks. All the stuff from the bed ended up going over the truck, out of the truck, and everything. So it smashed it all up. I think I can straighten it, but we'll see. Yes, I've driven it some. I got about, like I said, I think it's almost close to 600 miles on it now. Super pleased with it. I love it. It's a phenomenal truck. I love it to death. It's a super nice truck. We'll walk over here, check it out. I did notice it sits probably 3 inches higher than the other truck. It's got all the bells and whistles. The only thing it does not have is the sunroof, which I hate sunroofs, so that was no big deal at all. Here is the strip on the windshield. It's got everything, the auto sensoring windshield wipers, so if it starts raining, they'll come on. Lights come on by themselves, auto dim. It's got everything. It's got everything. You just got to, it doesn't have a key. You keep the key fob in your pocket, hold the brake, start it up, and we cut the radio down because I think the radio was on. But it's got everything, all your navigation and all that fun stuff, all your heat and air stuffs. Heated, cool seats, power everything, power tilt, mirrors, windows, sliding rear window. The back seat is huge in this truck. Got plenty of storage back there for people that want to ride along. And you can definitely tell the difference in the 5% and the 20%. It actually looks brighter on camera than it really is. But it's got every bell and whistle you can think of pretty much. I'm thoroughly pleased with it. Four-wheel drive, obviously. And with the new trucks, oh, check this out. What does this do? Tailgate down. Because, I mean, who wants to have to come out here and open the tailgate if you got a handful of stuff? Also, part of the deal was it's got feet print in it where I was dirty. My boots were dirty when I put the toolbox in, but I got the sprayed in Line-X bed liner applied because that's, in my book, the only way to go. So it's got every doodad you can think of, backup camera, and the key fob here has, let's see if we can get, it's even got, I accidentally hit it the other night when I was trying to start it. You can hit that. If only it would go back up. But it's got the remote start and everything. You just lock it, hit the button 2 times, and it fires right up. I guess that's how you cut it off too. Yep, that is. So another cool option on these trucks are they have a new app called Ford Pass, and once it loads on my phone, there's not a lot of Wi-Fi out here, but I'll just ramble on while it loads. It's a pretty cool app. What you can do is you can pretty much see all the stats on this truck from anywhere in the world as long as you have internet. You can lock the doors. Say you went somewhere and you think you forgot to lock the doors, you can push the button, lock the doors, unlock the doors. You can also start the truck from anywhere in the world and cut it off. It's got GPS on it. You can track, see exactly where it's at. You can see how many miles are on the truck, what's the gauges running. Say you have a driver or something and they've taken off and you feel like they're not taking care of the truck, you can look in and see what all your temperatures are running and see how many miles are on the truck, fuel level, everything. And I wish it would load. It's not, it loaded just a second ago, but not right now. Let me see if I can get that loaded and I'll show you how it works real quick. So as soon as I turned the camera off, it loaded. But what you can do with this is, I'll show you real quick. You can hold that button down and it will lock the truck. You can probably hear it in just a second. Hear the doors locked, and it'll say doors are locked. Now you can hold down engine start. It'll start spinning around. I'm so far away from the house, the Wi-Fi is down pretty good. But it'll start as soon as it gets a signal. Truck is now running from my phone. Let's go back. Well, I've lost signal again. Anyways, but like I said, it'll tell you all about the, oh, here we go. It's got 294 miles to empty. It can't give me the location because I'm standing under the carport. That's the only thing it won't. If it's in a metal building, it won't obviously read the GPS on it. But it tells you your air pressures in your tires, oil life, your scheduled starts, and you can do health reports, vehicle support. I mean, it's everything. It's pretty neat. Definitely, I think that's pretty cool to have. Just so if you need to look at something, it's right there on your phone. But there it is, and you may be asking yourself, Chris, that doesn't all add up. Well, there's more. Be right back. So it's 5:15 Monday evening, about dark as you can tell, and I'm off with an envelope and a check. Oh God, what have I bought? I've got the trailer in tow. Oh, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be good. First maiden voyage, pulling a trailer with the new truck. What are we gonna go get? Just what are we going to go get? I have to wait and see. Alright, there's a bunch of people around, so I didn't film it, but here's what the cat drug in tonight. Look at that. Brand new truck, pulling my my second truck. I bought a 2011 F250. Zach found this one. I quit looking I bought that one, and then he found this one the next day. If I had found it, I may have not bought that new one, but I liked it. So guess what? I bought this one too. Now I got a Sunday truck and a work truck. But we'll talk more about it in the daylight. Get her loaded up and get home. But wait, there's more. There's always more. So, long story short, I owned that truck for about 2 days. Realized it was way too nice to work out of every day and get it all beat up and banged up, dirty, even though my other truck really never got banged up. I just decided that truck was still way too nice. That was my first ever brand new truck, honestly. I had never had a brand new vehicle in my entire life, so that was the reasoning for getting that one. 2 days later, or it was a day later, I think, the next day, my friend Zach sent me a link to this one, and I was like, damn, that looks like a real nice truck. And then I pondered about it for a day. I was like, no, I just spent so much money on that one. I can't pull it off. I can't pull it off at all. But then the more I got to thinking about it, that truck was way too nice to work with, like I said, so went down there, looked at this one, and this truck is honestly what I probably would have bought if I had found this one 2 days before I bought that one. This one is a 2011 F250 Lariat, pretty much identical to my other one. It's just two-tone silver with the darker on the bottom. Everything is pretty much identical. The only thing it does not have is the navigation and the sunroof, but like I mentioned, I don't like sunroofs, so no big deal at all to me. Went down there and looked at it. I walked it all over. It was just in immaculate shape. There's not the first scratch, dent, or ding on it. It was cleaner. I've been driving it for the past week, so there's mud splatter on it from going down the driveway, but it doesn't have the first paint chip, scratch, dent, or ding on it. It's got a bed cover on it. Brand new set of Michelins. 122,000 miles. Bed liner, roll up bed cover, and I got to looking in here. I was like, this has never had anything put on it. It hadn't even had a fifth wheel. Most of the time you'll get a horse person, they'll buy a truck like this, pull a horse trailer around, beat the piss out of it, and or take care of it. So it's kind of a fine line between people. But I walked all around it and I just could not find anything wrong with it. Even the logo, mine was bad. It would peel off. That was a bad year for the blue to peel off that. I actually just sprayed it off. That's why it's still a little bit wet to get some of the mud off of it. But everything's pretty much stock on it. It's got tinted front windows. Like I said, hate sunroofs. I hate the sun. I like tinted windows. That's why everything I have has tint just about. It's a phenomenal truck. It was a one owner. Well, actually, it was the second owner. The first person only had it for like 6 months, traded in, and then the next person had it for the rest of its life. So they had it for 7 and some odd years. And once I saw it, test drove it, I loved it. It was just like my old truck. So I bought this one, even though it is pretty much way too nice. I mean, that's all that's wrong with it. Slight little crease on the seat. Everything else is just in phenomenal shape. Nobody's ever sat in the back seat, it doesn't even look like. And then this is what sold me, is when I flipped up the back seat, the gosh, what do you call that? It's for the trailer hitch, the shim or whatever. But just sitting in here, somebody even took the time to put it on a paper towel in here so that it wouldn't scratch that up. The Fords come with a 2.5 inch hitch, and you have to put that sleeve, it's a sleeve. You put the sleeve in there so a normal hitch will fit in there without sliding back and forth. But I can't tell that it's ever had a gooseneck in it. It doesn't look like that hitch has really ever been used. I don't know. It was not, it looked like it had a very easy life. So yes, I didn't want to spend the money, but I did. So currently I'm out of pocket a lot of money, over 6 figures, but the insurance should settle up. I bought all this all on my dime. The insurance hadn't even come in when I had bought both of these, and I've got the check since, but pretty much all the insurance did was pay for majority of that truck, and that was it. Everything else has been on my dime. So it was a costly vacation, but such is life. Nobody was hurt. That's the main thing. Trucks can be replaced, and I feel like I'll be working a lot of overtime. But there they are, my new pride and joys. I will do an update video on that truck because it's going to look badass when I get it back next week. But it's got all the LED lights and everything. I think they'll come on. I'm still learning all the doodads in there. Super bright lights at night. You can see a lot. All right, well, there they are. Thanks for watching, and I hope everybody has what's left of the weekend a good weekend.